I'm back. Oh, I love the taste of honey. Honey is so good. Honey is the best. Well, it's starting to rain out there, so the weather has changed, folks. Cold. It's going to be cold. All right, where is everybody? Where is everybody? We're talking about going full blast here, folks. How to live in an insane world with insane people. That's what we want to know. Who's going to be first in the room? Who's going to be first in the room? Nikki! How are you, Nikki? Oh, Nikki, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Nikki. Oh, Nikki. How are you? I heard they had a nasty wreck in Indiana. I-70, 45 cars. I'm glad you're back home. People do not know how to drive in the snow, and they drive too fast, and they tailgate, and they wonder why their four-wheel drive won't stop them as they slide into each other. I don't know why people are so dumb when it snows. Hey, Matthew, how are you? You missed the last live just a bit ago, Nikki. There was a cat in the yard entertaining all of us. The cat was talking to me and meowing at me and rolling in the dirt, and it was quite cute. Is my sound working? Hello, hello. Do we have sound? Are we on the air? We don't have any feedback. Hello, Mrs. Delight. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Am I broadcasting? Oh, good. Okay. Multitasking. Nobody can do that. That's a myth. Ha ha ha. Dee Michelle, I'm so glad you're here too. You're awesome. Everybody likes Dee Michelle. The quiet lady with the smile that goes back and forth to Hawaii to make us all drool and wish we were there. That's how that works. Hello, Lord Prep. Thank you, sir. So I raked the yard after church, and now it's starting to drizzle. We had 3 days of wind, so I couldn't do it. I got a little break. I did a video. You are too, Miss Delight. You're awesome, and I love you. I love all of you guys. There was a kitty cat from next door wandering around in the backyard and entertaining the last live. You guys will have to watch it. It was pretty cute. Tiger striped cat. I was even talking to it. It was meowing at me and rolling in the dirt. So sweet. A little too shy to get close to me, but it wanted to. What a deal. So, It's funny, my pastor, I swear, he must be listening to my channel. I'm being facetious, but I'll be talking about things. And then when he gives a sermon, he'll reiterate things that I have just told you guys. And I'm like, well, that's good. At least I know we're on the same page. That's always a positive. That's the thing, I'm not perfect, but the Word of God is that way. When you have a relationship with God, the Holy Spirit just kind of lines up things that way. Oh, Fred, I just saw a video. I didn't watch it. I just saw pieces of it. I-70 in Indiana had a 45-car pileup. Semi-truck, cars all wrecked. I thought, oh boy. What is it about people? They get dumb when it snows. I mean, they want to go 65. They want to follow too close. And then they wonder why they can't stop. It's crazy. It is crazy. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why. D. Michelle, how is your Sunday going? Can fish see water? No, that's funny. In no way affiliated. Haven't I seen you before? But I want to know why people that have good jobs, make good money, get stupid when they get behind the wheel. It's snowing. Slow down. Increase your following distance. Turn off the radio. Pay attention to what you're doing. Miss Delight, what do you do? Hello, Paul. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I'm alone, but it was good. How was yours? Did you eat lots of food? Can fish see water? Now you got me thinking, I don't know. Can they? They're so used to it. Matthew! I'm all right. Paul, how are you? You ate too much? I think everybody does that. That's a Thanksgiving tradition. To stuff thyself. Got my cup of peppermint tea with honey. Oh yeah. It's good stuff. Love my tea. Hey Samuel, how are you? Samuel. Samuel, where are you at? You getting any snow where you're at? Boondocks was in here earlier. He said it was snowing, starting to snow in Vermont. Starting to spit rain here in Georgia. The weather's done now. We're done with the sweet days. Now it's going to get cold and yucky. You're England, that's right. Where in England are you? Wow, Paul. I hope your mom is okay. South London. Are you in the area of London that's being affected by all the craziness, or are you in a good area? What kind of heat do you have, Samuel? What kind of heat? Do you have the old radiators? They had those in Minnesota when I was there, and I loved the steam radiators. Y'all see that Hong Kong skyscraper? Wow, wow, actually 7 of them. 128 dead. That's just crazy. Got you. Yeah, I didn't know if London still had the old steam heat. Some places have it, some don't. Here I've got a gas furnace. Minnesota had steam heat, most of the place I live. Matthew, what state are you in? Wow. Yeah, who was it? Audrey was saying that she's in Scotland, north of you, and she was saying Scotland has been dreary, that they might see 4 to 5 days of sunshine in like months. Wow. I didn't know it was so dreary. Massachusetts. Gotcha. Is it snowing up there yet? Hey, Jamie, how are you? Yes, that's right. I love it. We in the UK, Scotland, people in here, New Zealand, Australia. That's awesome. That is really awesome. I love that. Where is Bath, England? Where is that located? I've heard of Bath, England. What are we gonna do? Who's got a can of tuna fish? Tuna, tuna. Tuna. We have flurries early today and some rain. The longest expansion bridge in Europe. Really? Bath, England. I've heard of Bath, and I'm curious where it is in location to London. Bristol. Bath is close to Bristol. Okay. Fred, did you hear me? I saw something on YouTube about a major 45-car pileup on I-70 in Indiana today. Did you hear about that? That's crazy. Ah. I have a friend named Maurice. Can't remember where he lived. He was on my Facebook, and I'm not on Facebook, so now I'm not in touch with him. I've known him for years. He's from the Salt Marsh area, where Thomas Dolby grew up. And I would love to see that area out there. I'm London and what's going on with the wokeness. Very sad. I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing what's happening. Nikki, I'm glad you're here. Sometimes you disappear and I'm like, where did she go? Hey, Eric. How are you? Erica. Tea is good. Peppermint is awesome. Thank you, Matthew. It was awesome. That's right, Mr. E-Rock. They have a SeaWorld out in California. I went to as a kid, and we saw the original Shamu killer whale do a show. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome indeed. Yep, making the usual macaroni and cheese with steamed vegetables and tuna. It's bachelor's choice, baby. Bachelor's choice. E-Rock, how'd you like that cat show? I thought that was absolutely adorable. That cat was just showing out for us. When I was young, seemed that life was so wonderful, oh magical, oh it was beautiful. I'll have to look that up if I remember it. Hey, cute kitty, kitty, how'd you like seeing the kitty cat? Wasn't that cool? Oh, why? She's 18. That's a long time. Erica, where are you at again? What state are you in? And I'll be back and forth because I'm mixing my grub. A foot of snow. Wow. That's a goodly bit of snow. Gosh, I remember when I was a kid, where I lived in the mountains. Wow. Well, you were attached to her. I think that's cool, the story. You kind of did a rescue of her. I like animals. I just don't want any. I don't want them in the house. You know, dogs. And I'm sorry, now you got these women with these big dogs and they sleep on the bed with her. And I'm like, no, not doing that. That's just unclean. Me, dog don't belong on a bed in a house. It does not. Some people, unfortunately, take pet obsession just too far. They treat it like a human, they treat it like a child. It's like, ooh, not good. Still an animal. It will always be an animal. So Mr. E-Rock, went down the street twice, didn't see that vehicle. Right when I got in the tub, Scat Pack just tore through here. They do this stuff late afternoon, evening. I went up and down that street, didn't see him at all, twice. Yesterday and this morning on the way to church. And I was like, it's just, to me, the older I get, you have those people that are just in tune with Satan. They know when to do it. If they did it in the middle of the day a few times, okay. But they wait until the end of the afternoon when you're trying to rest or you're about to go to sleep. And that's when the devils come out. They really do. It's sad stuff. And we sang a hymn today. Oh gosh, what was the name of the hymn? I had never heard it before, but the words were interesting. It says something like, when it seems like you don't understand, something, I can't remember, it's an old hymn. And it was something, when it seems those that don't fear God are doing better than you, and you're struggling and suffering. I forgot the words of the song. But it was interesting. I thought, boy, isn't that the truth? You try. We're not perfect. You try to live for God. And yes, Mr. E-Rock, you notice that? The working class people, those who go to work all day, that's when the devils in our country are asleep. You get off, you come home, and out they come. I'll tell you what, they're demonic. They do that crap at night. They do that, it's like, you know what? I hope you wrap that car around the phone pole. That would be beautiful. Because it just gets so old. That was a kid that wanted to cut down my oak tree. I don't think so. When I see you acting like that, hell no. And you don't need you dropping it on my house. Tell you, I've noticed the last few days, the views have been really low. When I'm talking about more serious things and dressed in a way that society can accept, just the regulars are here. I'm not saying just the regulars in a derogatory way, but yeah, Paul, I hear you on that. Seahawks just got a pick six. Really? Wait a minute. Who was playing against Falcons today? It was New York. Wasn't it New York? Shoot, London's been taken over by India, I think, hasn't it? Falcons just can't seem to do it. Larissia came back. The Vikings were another team I wanted to see make the Super Bowl. Did Vikings ever win a Super Bowl? The Falcons are choke artists. Yeah, Paul, unfortunately, we have a lot of you got a lot of people that they think because I'm dressed like that I'm woke and want to molest children or be a drag queen and read stories to kids. They've got this box image. It's sad. Hey, Chris, how are you? Same with the Bills. Mom's taking his daughter back to Ohio or Toledo, and then he'll be back on the live. He said, dang, I missed your live. And he said, I knew you'd like that. I said, thank you for the Titanic puzzle. That's awesome. Well, welcome back, Common Sense. Where were you? Larissia Bivens. Piglet. Hold on a second. I'm going to go get my little stand so I can sit down and eat. In the land of Gadarenes was a man who was unclean. His name was Legion, for there were many. When Jesus came, there wouldn't be any. Pastor was talking about that today too. The demon-possessed man come down from the hills, breaking chains and naked, and the demons were so strong in him. Paul, that's awesome. I'm not traveling right now. I just started a new job. I have a goal to get this place finished. But it would be cool to meet you. It'd be cool to see the UK. Mr. E-Rock, I just christened your mug again. That was some damn good tea. That's right, Ralph. And I admit, what I do is not conventional. As you can see, I can look like anybody else. Sometimes I'm just in a mood. Cold weather's kind of a deterrent. When it gets hot, I don't even want to be in a t-shirt. Certainly not all this, but it's cold. Larisha Bivens. Larisha, have you ever gotten snow in Miami ever? I know they got snow in Pensacola last year. They got it all across the South. But I don't think it went all the way down to you. Hey, Luke. You know, Ralph, and I thank you for that. Some people like to get on and make comments that I'm mentally ill or need help. Sometimes I just like the feel of a feminine top. I envy women. I envy them for their beauty. The way they move their bodies is just so erotic. Some of the clothing they wear is fascinating. I don't want to be a woman. I'm a guy. But, yeah. We're definitely locked in a box thinking today. Right on, Matthew. Yeah, I don't know how far south it went into Florida. It was actually this year. What was that, February? From Orleans all the way across the South, the top of Florida, Georgia here was under a blanket of white. Alabama, Mississippi, everybody. Very unusual. Thank you, Luke. Why is it people get more mileage out of being mean? Some people get off on just being mean. £365. What is, how many pounds per US dollar? Does anybody know? Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it. Hey, Lizel. How are you? Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, Navarre Beach. Okay. I wasn't sure where that was. Ralph has a beach named after him. Wow. That's a trip. Yes, Luke. Shout out to Luke. He likes the channel and he's subbed. Welcome aboard, Luke. There's something for everybody here. This is a Hard Rock Myrtle Beach shirt that E-Rock and his wife got me. One of two. The other one is Hard Rock Cafe, New York. Louisiana. Shout out to Liz from Houston. I went through Houston in 2019. Wow. $483 a week? What do you do for a living, Paul? That is high. Man. No problem, Luke. We all want to feel recognized and valued. So I got sidetracked this morning. I wanted to talk about something that I've noticed. I've worked with a lot of customer service, spoke to a lot of people. And there's a strange connection between our sexuality and the kindness of somebody else. People who've been alone for a long time. When I worked at the call center, people call in with issues with their phone, and you just being nice, talking to them, they become attracted to you, the sound of the human voice. I noticed as I was talking to a woman trying to troubleshoot her phone issues, she was breathing heavily, and I noticed she was fingering her banjo. And this had happened when I was in training. We went down to the floor. We were in the class. We went downstairs to the floor. I was with a lady. She took her headset, put one ear on me, one ear on hers, and all I do is listen in and watch how she handles the customer. Yes, Larishia, and you might have experienced this too with men. Man called in. She's talking to him. Now he didn't know, the customer didn't know this, but the woman, Zoe, was drop dead gorgeous. She had a beautiful voice. And the guy was talking to her, and she was doing her job professionally, and I could hear him. And I heard him say, "You have a nice voice." She goes, "Well, thank you, sir. Let me look into your account, see what I can do." And I heard him start to go, ugh. I looked at her and I mouthed the words, "Is he masturbating?" She hit the mute and she said, "Yes." She unconnected the mute. Sir, it looks like you've got a block on this. Let me look further and see what I can do. And he was going out. He was strumming the ukulele on the phone. And when I got through training and I went on call for the first time, wasn't long before a lady called me. Same thing. Wow, you got a nice deep voice. I said, well, thank you, ma'am. You sound like a radio announcer. And I heard the same thing. She said, oh. I said, oh my. She's playing the banjo. And it's easy to laugh. Does anybody remember Diary of Anne Frank? Her family was hiding the Jews. Anne Frank was a cute girl, and she has an entry in her diary that's disturbed people. There was a lady close to her age, a teen, living with them. I don't know what all the deal was. She saw her dress. One evening, they shared a room. She saw her breasts, and she said she felt ecstasy. She saw her breasts and felt ecstasy and asked, I would love to touch your breasts, and can I kiss you? She very politely said no. But she wrote that in her diary, and in the South, Christians said, that's not appropriate. This was in Nazi Germany. This was when lesbian and all that wasn't even on the radar. It wasn't discussed. And Anne Frank was just a young, blossoming girl. And she felt erotic seeing the woman's tots. And I struggle because when we become a Christian, we suddenly lock up. Oh, that's not appropriate. That's wrong. This girl was being honest. In those days in Angle, yeah, because they dressed up so much, they didn't show any skin. Luke, is it your birthday tomorrow? Hey, Colette, welcome back. Hey, Tony, Chad. How old are you going to be tomorrow, Luke? Hey, Derek. Welcome. Yes, Colette. 12? Oh, Luke, I got to warn you, we talk about adult stuff in here, so I don't know if I'm comfortable with you hanging out. But Diary of Anne Frank, but you are being respectful, and I appreciate that. Man, where'd that piece of tuna go? Yes, Pam. No, I'm not being rude. It's just sometimes we discuss adult things, and I want to warn you that they may not be for your ears. You know, we try to be appropriate, but you have to realize you're young. Nothing against that. And you know, I don't know what you did when you made your YouTube, but I do sign into this every day saying not made for children. I think you have to be 14 to be in the live chat if you're being honest on your YouTube. Oh, I don't let them in my house, Derek. That is one thing I don't do. I clean my floors, bleach mop them. I might get palmetto bug once a month. I haven't seen any for a couple months. It's been very dry. And they like all the wetness and everything, so they've... Luke, I'm not against you. It's just when you say you're 12, I'm nervous because sometimes we talk about adult issues that, you know, I don't know if it's a good idea for you to hear some of this stuff. And again, you're very respectful. I have no ill will towards you. 12 is young. That concerns me. Just being honest. But I want you to have a good birthday tomorrow. Enjoy being a kid. And you have an awesome evening. All right? You be safe out there. Yeah, nobody hates you at all. We're not like that. But when we're talking about stuff, there's just some things that at your age are not cool for you to be listening in on. Colette, it started to sprinkle out there before I came on, so hopefully the kitty cat went back in the house. You two, Luke, you take care and have a good evening. And happy birthday, man. Is it Larashia? Wow, we have something in common, Larashia. You too. Enjoy being 12, man. Enjoy being a kid. Oh yeah, that cat will go in the garage or go somewhere undercover if it doesn't go inside. So cute to see her rolling around the dirt, having fun. You know, it's interesting. Lions and tigers and all the big cats do that too. Hey, Cheryl. Yeah, Indiana had a 45 car pileup on I-70. Yikes. People forget how to drive when the snow comes. I would not drive on the snow. My tires are not the greatest on tread. I get a little bit of wet, even dry pavement. If I go to take off, the tires will slip. I'm like, wow, that truck is really light in the back end. People forget that about pickups. If you don't have anything in the bed of your truck, that thing has no traction back there. Oh, studded tires is the way to go. My dad would put those on the cars. 10:30 p.m. Sunday. So you're 5 hours ahead of me, man. That's not that bad. Only 5 hours. But you know, it's shorter distance across the Atlantic than the Pacific. Pacific, whenever I went across there, it is a long flight over the water. Oh, let's see. I'm going to try this again. Timer, my question is, are you alive? Shows, or do you have you know what? I'm morning and evening, but I get up very early. Sometimes I come on at 2 a.m., sometimes 4 a.m., 5, and before work. Pam Merrill, you're not Pam from Colorado by chance, are you? I know a Pam Merrill. Oh no, you work at night, so you're not driving buses. Okay, got you. Sometimes the people aren't getting the notifications. Cheryl went through that and goes through that. I don't know why that happens. You think about YouTube and all that goes on, there are glitches. A lot of people tell me I didn't get a notification. I don't even know how that works. I've subbed to a few channels. I don't always get notifications of people. Security got you. What is shadow ban? Oh, Matthew, man, I had a 74 AMC Matador, and I remember I went down the street, went to turn around, went up this little hill, and I was stuck. I spun the tires so hard the car finally just slowly did a donut, and I was able to shoot out of there. That was after I got out of high school. Oh my gosh. Put some weight in the trunk, man. Wow, I'm live 2 days later. That's a trip. I'm gonna wash my dishes here. That's crazy. 2 days late and $1 short. How may I direct your call? But I'm talking about something that I need to say. The human condition is such. And yes, I am a Christian, and yes, I take my faith seriously, but I've lived with a tremendous amount of guilt all of my life before I was a Christian. My mother was very domineering, she would get mad when I'd be silly. She'd get mad when my cousin and I were chuckling about something, not making fun of people. We were kids. And my mother, her grandparents, they were from England. And they were of that generation that children would be seen and not heard. My mother was a baby boomer, the one that adopted me. And she just was too much. She favored her natural born. It's that way to this day. She adopted me and my little sister. My little sister is not, we're not blood related. She's from another family. They get along. But yeah, I was treated as the black sheep. I was judged so much by my mother. I was too loud. I talked too much. I had too much energy. She called it hyperactivity. You know, and it's, instead of a parent just being honest and saying, son, I love you, but I'm having a hard time because you're so energetic. But to say you're hyper, you talk too much. You know, that's just a stigma. That's just a stigma. And it was rejection. And then I become a Christian, and then, you know, you find out, wow, I cannot measure up, even as a Christian. I struggle with lust. I appreciate a woman's body. When I've dated a woman, if we were in the mood, we had sex. You're not supposed to do that. The Bible's very clear about abstaining from fleshly lust that war against your soul. It says they war. That's a hard one for me. That's a hard one. And I learned at the call center. Men and women. Now, no men were jerking off when I was on the phone, but women did. And there's a direct connection when they hear a kind voice and they're alone. That happened to me once. The neighbor lady called me in Duluth one night to talk to me about, she was pretty too. And this is terrible. She had a very boring husband that didn't say 2 words and was a wallflower, and she was outgoing and beautiful. She talked to me on the phone about, do you want to share the garbage because they're charging so much? And I said, yeah, we can do that. I'll pitch in for the money. And I felt aroused talking to her. She wasn't sex talking me, but I felt aroused. And, It's just the way we are when you're alone. What was that movie? I don't know if the lady was an attorney, but she came into this prison. There was this hardened criminal, and he's feeling his nuts while she's on the other side of the thing talking to him. I mean, him just seeing a woman being all locked up in there, you know, it's just, it's sad. You too, Paul, and thanks, man. You have a good night, and you stay safe. Hey, doggy. But I want to thank Mr. E-Rock. When I go to church, I try to pay attention. And when I went to church today, you ever had that? Now, when I was a kid, this would happen, and occasionally it happens as an adult, though it's rare. I started getting a laugh inside of me. We had a phone call last night, and I made an observation about something in chat, and he said, yep, somebody was fingering the banjo. Man, I lost it. I started laughing so hard, I said, E-Rock, I was paying attention to Pastor, but every so often I just couldn't get that out of my head. Fingering the banjo. That is funny. Just like Mob come up with douche flute. I mean, those are originals. Those are classics. That's what good friends are for, to add to your vocabulary. Oh my gosh. Hey, Paris, how are you? Yeah, Cheryl. And now I was telling E-Rock on the phone after church. I said, I wish I had a studio and the means to make like little commercials and stuff and show me driving or walking down a street, and there'd be women sitting in their rocker on the front porch down here in the South, and I'd be like, the South, the people are so nice. The ladies are smiling as I walk by, and everyone I go by, I hear banjo music. I notice their hand is on the front of their dress, and why am I hearing banjo music by every house with a woman in a rocking chair? And he was laughing so hard. Oh, that's funny. How dare you? All right, Pam, you have a good one. You be safe. And thanks for coming in. Larashia, thank you for coming in. I like it when you're here. Larashia, Mob. I'm trying to think of the very originals. Larashia, Mob. Who was the first, before you leave, Larashia, who were the first moderators? You, Mob, who else? The very first ones. Do you remember? Clark Graham, or no, Clark. Was it Clark? I can't remember. Hey, Angel, how are you? Bridge and Sam, that's right. Yep, thank you. Hey, Noxie, how are you? Sam, you didn't do, or Naughty, Doggy, you didn't do anything wrong. I don't recall you doing anything wrong. What did you do wrong, Doggy? What is California? That is correct. $500. That's double jeopardy. I never was into game shows. I was raised in California, and those were on all the time. Man, those shows. The Price is Right. I remember that when I was a kid. Oh, I'll be back. Got a banana peel in my wish bag. We can get it out of here. There we go. I love bananas, but I don't like a peel in the trash. Come in a day later and smell like banana in here in a bad way. So 8 beers, doggy, my word. He just walked off mumbling about Noxie, you're a mess. I know, it's cold here, Noxie. 29 degrees for the low. I was going to paint the rest of the back of the house, but nope. I don't know when I'll be able to do that again. It might be a while. Mumbling about a banana peel. Oh my gosh. There is a connection between our sex drive, loneliness, and kindness. And I learned at the call center, some people are alone. Sometimes I take it for granted. And I have to remind myself, I'm blessed. I have people that want to hear me. You got people in our society that nobody wants to listen to. People don't like them. They don't want to sit at their feet. They don't want to sit around. They don't want to be around them. Can you imagine what it's like being that? That's got to be tough. You think they don't have feelings? You think they don't have a sex drive? I mean, I may not be attracted to them, but it don't matter. You be nice to them, and their libido goes into overdrive. That's why I tell people got to stop being mean. They got to be nice. If everybody was nicer, it would be better for everybody. I try. There's some people at church that I'm not comfortable around. There's others that are quiet, and I'll go out of my way to say good morning and greet them. There's others I'm not comfortable around because they're just, you try to have any kind of a discussion and it just gets weird. You know what, Noxie? I was talking about that before you came in. The banana peel was a sidebar. I didn't look, but I believe it was in the 50s today. Hey, up like Trump. Oh, nice. Well, if you wake up and I'm not live tomorrow, you'll know what happened. I'll be heaven dancing on the streets of gold. Dancing with myself. Oh. Wouldn't that be weird? I'm in heaven. God, I can't communicate to my chatters. No, there's no more YouTube channel, buddy. But man, I can't. Wow. You want to beam them up, Michael? I think you need to make the rapture happen. Okay. That'd be fun. Do you realize, people, that God intended for us to live forever in the bodies we're in? In the beginning, when He created the earth, everything, He intended us to live forever. He built within ourselves the ability to rejuvenate, the blood flow, everything, that our bodies could live forever. Enoch was 65 years old when he had Methuselah. And it says, then he walked with God 300 years, and God took him. How do you walk with God like that? How? You got a lot of people telling everybody what to do. Our pastor in a sermon I was glad to see said, do you guys just do what you do at church because you were told, because your parents told you? Do you come down to the altar because you were told to? You know, that doesn't save you. When you get saved, you're a new creation. And I was thinking, I couldn't help but think, these parents, when they suddenly go to the altar, all the teenagers run up there, and I'm like, now I know for a fact. I see the body language, the unfriendliness. These kids aren't moved to do that. They're doing that because it's expected. And I think some of the adults do that as well. I never go down. People notice that. I lived up north. I'm very outgoing, but I'm also reserved. When I go to church, I don't believe in showing up or showing out. When I go to church, it's not about me. When I go to church, it's about God, and I'm not going to make a scene or draw attention to myself. It's supposed to be about magnifying Him. And some people get in the habit of showmanship. Oh, they're going to go down to the altar. They're going to stand up and pray and draw attention. I'm very, very guarded about that. Noxie, where are you at? North Carolina. Really? No, I thought they got snow last year. Or it would have been this year. What is going on in here? I'm talking and now we got some drama unfolding. Like sad sludge. Yeah, I hate that. I call it slush. Wet cement. You hit it with your car tires and it goes splat. That stuff is greasy as a banana. Sucks to drive on it. Hey, Mello, how are you? Yeah, I don't like ice. I used to love snow. I have gotten older and it's not fun. I don't want to drive in it. There's just too many people on the roads and they just drive stupid. Doesn't matter where you go, they drive dumb. And me, I'm older. If it's really bad down here, that truck just stays in the driveway. These people can't drive in the good weather. The last thing I want to do is see a bunch of Southerners on the ice. No thanks. I'd rather watch ballet. At least they know how to, or the skaters, they know how to control themselves on ice better than people driving their cars. Now think about that. You got metal skates. They don't have brakes on them. You got rubber tires and people can't control those things. But on skates, you're on sheer ice and they can control their bodies and hold somebody while they're doing it. That's awesome. You know what, Knox? You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, Cheryl, I like seeing things work out properly. That's always a plus. I want to shout out to you, Cheryl, and others this morning that reached out to Aina and made her feel welcome. That was a moment. I even went to church and I said, God, I pray for her. I pray that you would reach her. You know, in spite of my flaws, people, I would like to see people saved. And a Muslim woman in another country, that would be awesome. I appreciate you guys reaching out and being kind to her. That was beautiful. Yeah, Mystery Rock, that's so important. Noxu, we become a community. It's just happened. We had a Muslim gal from Pakistan come in asking us questions. She wasn't hostile, 23. We got to boldly talk about the Lord to her. She had questions about Islam. She didn't like certain aspects of it. That's all right, Knox. You all have your life. I don't expect you guys to be groupies. And I don't, because people have their lives. We got a solid core group of people that come in here. And I don't take that for granted. Oh, Max Palmer. Yeah, that's not easy standing that cold. Are you bell ringer for Salvation Army? You know, that is hard work. I'd rather do my job at a warehouse. It's not heated or cooled at all, but we're at least under a roof. And when I work, I'm warm. Standing all day, ringing a bell or waiting for the, oh my gosh, that'd be a long day. I'd be out there dancing. Everybody give ding, ding, ding. Oh yeah, come on, baby. I'd be doing a show. People be like, I'm giving just because of your entertainment. Thomas Pattis comes in and makes a stupid comment. I wonder what he's talking about. I'm not a nerd, by the way, Thomas. I don't make that kind of money. Bill Gates and the nerds make big money, so wrong call. Well, thank you for that, Noxie. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is. Thomas, this bud's for you. There you go, buddy. Don't troll. It's not okay. Colette, you cracking me up. Nerd, that's such a juvenile thing. They used to do that when I was in 6th grade. Cheryl, are you lusting after my troll doll? Really? Does that arouse you? Troll butts. I could just see Cheryl's new version of the song. I like troll butts and I cannot lie. Thank you for that, Noxie. And there's been a few that have done that. That came in here just to go, what the F? And then they stayed and subbed and loved it. I don't know what it is about human nature. There's something in people, they just want to be mean. There's something in their life ain't right. So they'll come in here and run their mouth. I tell you what, that's a long day ringing a bell, man. Chris, you all right by me, man? We've all made mistakes. The good thing is if we can work it out. Oh, Colette, I didn't sit down and ask him. I'm in the South. As I get older, I just realize there's some questions I don't need to ask because I kind of know where this generation, well, a lot of the older Southerners, I know where they're tracking, and it wouldn't pay for me to get into a discussion because I'm a very, I'm a very strong mind, and I would be like, Pastor, I love you and I love the way you teach, but I don't agree with that at all. David danced naked before the Lord, and God wasn't displeased with him. So, people make things walk on all fours. I like my pastor and I like his wife. She's this quiet little woman, but man, does she have a sense of humor. I walked into the church. She's standing at the back of church handing out bulletins. I said, I didn't do it. She goes, oh, yes, you did. You're guilty. She's so funny. He was telling the story that he met her in high school, and he said she ignored me. I was about 25 when we bumped into each other and we started dating. He said we weren't saved and we had our problems and we got separated. And he says that we both got saved, and he said, I love her. And he'll talk about her right in front of the congregation. I always look over at her, and she's the second pew from the front. And I look at her and she's just shaking her head. She's funny, man. See you, Noxie. You have a good evening and be safe. Thanks for coming in. It's been a minute. Yeah, no, Colette, sometimes I just think I'm not going to bring this up. He's 70 years old. He's from down here. Probably not going to see my point of view. That's one of those, just pick my battles. I'd rather have unity with him. He preaches the word good. A lot of pastors don't do that today, so I just leave that stuff alone. Now, there was a guy there that came up and said, oh, it's good you cut your hair. And I said, well, there was nothing wrong with it. Well, yes, I said, dude, I'm not going to have this discussion with you, okay? That's a bunch of Southern stuff, and I was from the North. I've lived all over the country. You don't like it. It's not for you. Leave it alone. And I stopped him. I just was polite and I said, I'm not going to discuss this with you. Because he was my age, and I'm like, no, you're not my pastor. Get off of this. Well, Noxie, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. You're still part of us. That don't change. Good thinking, Batman. Where's Batman? Colette, you being the Joker or Robin? Man, I remember the old Batmans. Those were cool. Playing with the Queen of Hearts, knowing it ain't really smart. Joker is the only fool who will do anything for you. Catwoman. There you go. Pow oomph. Meow. That's funny. Cheryl, you missed it earlier. The one you missed, I was in the backyard and I was burning some stuff. Did you see my flaming banjo in honor of E-Rock's fingering a banjo? Did you see what I was doing? Kind of a double entendre. I'm holding the broom down here and I'm sitting there picking at the bristles. I said, E-Rock, what is that song? It goes, da 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 da. He goes, yeah, da 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 da. I said, that one. I said, find it, send it to me. I'm going to do a video. And it was dueling banjos. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, that's what it was. I remember that. And I thought, I'm going to light the burn barrel. I'm going to get this thing going. I was ding, 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 ding. I was in front of the burn barrel with the flames coming out. Oh my gosh, that was funny. E-Rock has me in stitches over that stupid fingering the banjo. I've never heard that in my life. That is so funny. But I did a live after that. And I was in the backyard and this tiger striped cat was meowing over there by the garage in the next door property and rolling around and wanted to get close, but too skittish and talking to me. Meow, meow. It was so cute. And it was giving a show to all the chatters. It was beautiful. You'll have to watch that video. It was quite cute. Yeah, they're burn barrels here. It's a 55-gallon oil drum is what it is. We just call them burn barrels. Oh man, Tina got me these nice wool socks and I love them. I'm gonna wear them to bed tonight and tomorrow. Weatherproof. These are nice and cozy for my foots. I want to snuggle up with Colette. Go to New Zealand and you know what? Not everything's sexual. Just to feel a woman and snuggle up and go to sleep and feel somebody breathing. Colette, do you snore? Am I going to be asleep in here? Oh my gosh, she snores. Mobs! Mom, thank you so much. I showed the puzzle to everybody on the earlier live. Thank you so much. That made my day. I just went out to rake. And the post office, I'm like, man, they got to work on Sunday now. She stopped in front of the house and I'm like, Mom said something about Monday. She come out with the parcel and I put it in the house, finished raking, and I went in and I opened it. Or no, I didn't open it. I got on live and I ripped it open in front of it. I said, I was all excited. You got to see it. You'll love it. Oh, Colette, I would definitely give you a massage. I'm good at that. I remember when I dated the Korean woman, we would take a nap and should have put a thing in her mouth because she would bite down on stuff. And I remember she had twitches and stuff. we sometimes, that happens. You'll be in bed and you ever seen the animal running in his sleep? Cat or the dog is, and when I'd lay next to Sharon, I'd feel her, she'd start, twitching and stuff. And I just gently put my hand on her and she'd come around. Did I do something? I said, no, you were moving all around. And, oh, I'm so sorry. I do that. And I don't know why. I said, you're all right. Oh, well, Colette, that would be awesome. We could rub a dub dub all evening long. Who came up with rub a dub dub 3 men in a tub for a nursery rhyme? Man, they're talking about woke stuff today. Somebody was woke back then, teaching kids rub a dub dub 3 men in a tub. What was that all about? I thought it was so funny. Doggy one day was going at it with Fish Finder. They cracked me up. We were talking about you, Doggy. You're interesting. We were talking about you today in a good way. You've always been here. You've been a damn good moderator, by the way. Thank you for that. But I remember when you used to run in here with Neeks, and it was weird. I was liking you to a story years ago. I had a friend in Minnesota, and they had a family reunion. They all had this property on the lake. Somebody in the family, and they all come up in their campers and vehicles, brought their four wheelers, and spent a weekend, a long weekend. And John had invited me to come out, and everybody's sitting in their little folding chairs in front of their camper and chit chatting with each other. And everybody's talking and catching up on things. And, the dogs are running through the middle of all this. Their dogs are in their own little world. And you're sitting there talking, and suddenly you see the dog dry hump the other dog, and you're like, oh my, look at that. And I was saying, sometimes Doggy's in his own little universe. Everybody's in here chatting, and Doggy, and I said, remember when he was going at it with Fish Finder, and E-Rock was laughing? I said, that was so funny. I was like, we got this chat going on. I'm looking at, what is he and Fish Finder doing over there? Man, that's funny. Doggy, you crack me up. Ring a ring, ring a rosy. Yeah, I heard that, Colette. Yes, he is. That's funny. What happened to Fish Finder, man? Oh, Mystery Rock, I saw that on a bathroom wall when I was a kid. There once was a man from Nantucket who had a blank so big he could blank it. Yeah, I remember that. Jeez. Here I sit, all broken hearted, tried to shh and only farted. Bathroom poetry. Jeez. Hey, Colette, do you know how you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie in it. Really, Cheryl? Blue moon, you saw me standing alone. Mooning. I was talking about that not too long ago in the chat. I remember the days when it was in vogue to moon people. You don't see that anymore. That could be considered a sex offenders list now. If a grown man moons somebody in public, that is a no-no. But the kids used to do it. High schoolers would do it. You don't hear about that anymore. Mooned. You just got mooned. You mooned people, Cheryl? Now, I never heard of women doing that. I had a few women flash their tots at me. They were doing it to make fun of me, not because they were trying to rouse me. But I never saw a girl moon anybody. Cheryl mooned people. You flashed your tots. Was this all in Maine? Man, I went to the wrong school. It's only impressive it's a full moon, quarter moon, half moon. Massachusetts. Wild East Coasters, man. I dated a lady in Spokane, Elizabeth. She was a year or two older than me. She worked at the call center. She was telling me a story. She goes, when I was younger, she said my girlfriend and I would drive up the logging roads here in Washington, and we'd see a log truck coming down the mountain. And right when the driver came, they'd both whip their tops up, and Elizabeth was well endowed. I said, are you serious? She goes, Mike, he almost crashed. One guy, he almost crashed. And I said, I can't do that. The guy, he went and he wasn't paying attention. He almost crashed the truck with a load of logs. And we said, we better not do that. I said, oh my gosh. Log truck crashes because two women flashed their tots. Wow. It has been. Boberson is making a week's worth of food. You know, it's nice when you cook stuff in advance and you make little foodlets. You take them to work, heat them in the microwave. That's kind of cool. Handy. You know what I'm noticing? Thomas made that comment, and I don't think anybody kicked him out. I've noticed some of these trolls would just stand up to them and they leave on their own. That's beautiful. But the numbers are way down. Something happened after Thanksgiving. Everybody must be on tryptophan. Something's weird. My parents weren't as enthusiastic. Did you have no bra on, Cheryl? You still have the trophy? What do you mean by shadow banned, Colette? I asked you that earlier. You drove through McDonald's drive-through backwards. Oh my gosh. Can I take your order, please? Did you really do that? I've never heard of that. I had a friend named Lisa in Minnesota. She told me she wanted to go into an elevator. You know, you go into an elevator and you turn around and face the doors. She said, I want to go into a loaded elevator and stare at the people. I said, man, I dare you. I would never feel comfortable doing that. I said, that's scary thinking about that. That'd be nerve wracking. You get all these suits and ties and you walk in there and I think the suits and ties would be going, um, okay, ma'am, why? Turn around. Was it fun, Mr. E-Rock? Of course, no brought. You know what? I didn't see it because I was chatting. I'm sorry, Colette. You know I didn't do it on purpose. Colette's going to get the hairbrush out and whip my butt. Oh, you know what, Colette? That's right. I've heard of that. They were doing it. The numbers were going up. I wonder why. I wonder if it's like a jukebox. The arm goes and picks up another record and slides it in, it plays. Then it gets another one. I'm wondering if they do that to equalize or if they are objecting. That's the thing. I think of YouTube like the jukebox. The record slides out, drops in, the other one's put back. I just wonder if that's like the octopus of the algorithms. Some days you're up, some days you're down. Hey, Max, welcome back. They never gave you the orders. Really? And what would I be reported for? Because somebody got kicked out of the room? Whip the troll's butt. Oh, got you. Yes. Or the Seaberg Rockola. Ralph, you know what I'm talking about. Bringing out the good stuff. Yeah, I did that one in the backyard, and then I came in and I was going to take a bath. So I ended that, and I started this after I cleaned up. No, JS, why would you say the mods haven't been kicking anybody out? That's not accurate. Nobody's been getting kicked out. Seattle's tearing them up. Legal name fraud. It's illegal to use a legal name. Look, Thomas is back. Let's see what Thomas is. Let's see. Joined 6 years ago. No subscriber. Oh, look, it gets deleted message timeouts. Let's give Thomas a timeout. There we go. We'll give him a timeout of 24 hours. We'll add to his rap sheet. Bluegrass, how are you, girl? Bluegrass. Not much. How are you? God equals truth. Amen. Bluegrass, how are you? So when are you going to Florida? Talking about lingering the banjo? Oh, you think that got me in trouble? Got you. Well, you can thank E-Rock for that classic phrase. That is so funny. Now we've got a whole new. I wish I could do a show. Michael presents Fingering the Banjo. Oh, these Southerners are so nice, always smiling. Every time I go by their front porch, they're rocking, and I hear banjo music. Really? Yeah. And then the camera zeroes in, and she's got her hand down there. Blame me, Rock. Wow, Max, I feel for you. Wear your polar bear jacket, wear your long underwear, double pairs of socks, and then big choppers. We used to have those in Minnesota. I know they still got them. Those choppers are nice and warm. Just stand out there with a polar bear. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Ding, ding, ding. Bless your soul, buddy. It's cold when you got to stand and just stand there. It's always my fault. Oh, wet t-shirts are delightful. So are pajama tops with no bra. Fun, fun, fun with missing buttons. Hello, Mason. How are you? I remember when I used to go to Yahoo chat rooms, and this is better than that because this isn't Yahoo chat, it's my chat, and we got a good group of people. I look forward to seeing you guys. I really do. 16 below in Winslow in the 90s. Wow. Wow, Ralph. I'm shocked at that. Yeah. I was alone as usual, Bluegrass, but I was all right. I did some lives, caught up on some phone calls. 16 below in Winslow. Now that's getting down there. I never even saw 16 below in Denver when I was there. Now that surprises me that Winslow got the deep freeze. Colorado has some spots like Black Canyon and the Gunnison. They get down there. There's some parts of Colorado that get cold like Minnesota. Denver, not necessarily. Denver, I think the coldest I'd see is like 8 to 10 below. In December, it'd get nippy. Wind chill put it a little lower. But Minnesota, the coldest I ever saw was 50 below. Yeah, that's just insane. Guy tried to hammer nail through a frozen banana. Couldn't. Oh, hurry back. Mason, I cut it a couple months ago. It was getting too frizzed. Here, look. I got part of it and I get remorseful. I feel like I committed a crime. That's what's left of my beautiful locks. It does cause sadness. And look, it matches. But you can see all the sun streaks in it. It just turned blonde in places because of the sun. My hair. Oh yeah, doggy. Arizona has. I thought somebody said has more forest than Maine. Arizona has the San Francisco Peaks. They get snow on them. They get snow. Prescott would get snow every year. That's a mile high, same elevation as Denver. The Grand Canyon, the North Rim, would always get a dusting of snow. You could be in the bottom of the canyon, be 100 degrees, and you'd be up on the North Rim and it's cold. Literally two different zones. Doggy, that would look weird. That would look strange. Bluegrass, we get older, it sucks. I love the cold. I used to love the crispness in the air and the squeaky snow under my feet and the ice groaning on Lake Superior. Now that's something I miss. When that bay would freeze, I can't describe the noise. It's like it's loud. I mean, I'm away from the lake on the hillside and I'd hear it. I was like, wow, what is that? Somebody said it's the ice contracting and expanding. It was awesome. The largest ponderosa forest in the West, especially Alpine, Arizona. That's right. That's right. Yes, Bluegrass. Bluegrass, it'd be nice to see you. And if you can't, I understand, but it'd be nice if you timed it, have Christmas Day and the day after off. And then I have New Year's and the day after off. That'll be a 4-day weekend. I got to look. But it'd be nice if on the way you came by for an evening. That would be really cool. That would be awesome. And we would do a live stream just to show everybody. That'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be fun to meet you. Yes, Mr. E-Rock. Thanks for that video of the St. Lawrence River. I was awed by that. Waves on the river. I'm like, look at that. That wind had to be blasting to do that. When is that river got a hellacious current? I would imagine it would. I mean, if you go and jump in that river, you're going to be carried away, right? Is it fast flowing or is it lazy? Wow. Yeah, the Empress of Ireland has been, it was an ocean liner disaster, 1914. They did a video, they put a video of that together and they got that song with it. Da 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 da. Oh my gosh, that woman, that female vocalist in that song is fitting for the Empress. Very sad. A lot of Salvation Army people were on there, band members that died on that disaster. Yeah, Bluegrass, it's true. We get older and it sucks. I don't like the heat in the summer down there. It's too much. You want a happy medium. I mean, right now, I'm sorry. 50s in Georgia is cold to me. I've gotten soft. You have 80s, 90s, 80s, 90s, 90% humidity, and then we just go boom down to this. No, that was the Empress of Ireland on the St. Lawrence River going up towards the Great Lakes in Canada. I'm trying to remember the St. Empress, I believe it would dock in Montreal. The Empress of Ireland was shorter than the Titanic. It was a small ship. You can Google it. Type in SS Empress of Ireland. You'll see it. Make sure and put SS or it'll pull up something totally different. From Buffalo, New York to Mexico. Did it really go down? Did the Erie Canal really go down to Mexico? No way. Empress sank much the same way that the Lucy did. It was rammed. She turned over on her side. They couldn't lower the boats. It was foggy. People jumped into that freezing cold winter or water, the St. Lawrence. And she's under there. Some divers recently found out some of the facts presented in the hearing were false, that they had supposedly shut off the engines, and they said that they have two telegraphs, the one on the bridge and one down in the engine room, and the diver said, well, we could go look, and we could find out what the helm was set at, because the bridge was destroyed. They blew up some charges so that ships wouldn't snag onto the Empress. It was a big ship. But the engine room was intact, and they found that the helm said something different than the hearing, and the witnesses actually said, I don't think she shut off her engines. She was still moving. "16 miles on the Erie Canal." What is going on, folks? You ain't no big baby. It's called aging, honey. Vermont. Oh, you're talking you're talking by ship then, Ralph. Sadie Jane. Yeah, me too. I'm not sure what's going on back here. We got some backstory with Chris and Cheryl and Doggy. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes we got little mini soap operas. As Michael turns, so are the days of his life. General Hospital will continue after these messages. No, you're fine, Bluegrass. Lovers and friendship spats. I don't know what's going on. Young and restless. Chris, we're just having fun. Ralph, when I went to the Grand Canyon in 1988 for 3 days, at that time, the mail came down to the village of Supai by pack train, burros, and we stood aside to let postman drive the mule team down. The only place in the country where the mail got in by mule. Very cool. You too, Matthew. Thanks for coming in. Have a good evening and good day at work tomorrow. North Tonawanda. Bluegrass, the Grand Canyon. I would love to go down in there again. I love the Grand Canyon. I would live in that. It gets hot, but not like the South. The Grand Canyon is freaking beautiful. I love the ecosystem down there. I would live in the canyon. I like the canyon. I like being closed in like that, but it's so massive. The Colorado River going through there, man, I'd be happy as a clam down there. Just got to watch for rattlesnakes and scorpions. They got raccoons down in there. But at night, the stars is amazing. When I looked up, I was like, oh my gosh, look at all that. I'll never forget that sight. I still remember it vividly. I said, Rex, look at the sky. Shooting stars constantly. And like I said before, take a black piece of construction paper and pinprick it. A billion times. Hold up the light. Look at all those stars. You think you see a few stars over your city and you think you've seen, oh no. There are billions of stars up there. It is amazing. I was having a moment. Rex was not having it as much as me. He goes, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm like, dude, God did that. Wow. God did that. Look at all that stuff up there, man. There's so many of them. It was unbelievable. Oh, I like sledgehammers and pry bars. Those are my favorite tools. Bluegrass, this is when I wish I had enough money and the freedom. I'd come and get you and say, let's go. Let's go. Let's go on a trip. And let's go down there. Let's stay down there for a couple days and experience it. Stay at the Grand Canyon Lodge and have fun. You worked on the South Rim Grand Canyon National Park Hotel El Tovar and the Watchtower. We went to the Watchtower, my dad and I. I remember the Watchtower. That's old. But Colette, you see cool things in New Zealand I'll never see. Every place is just cool. Arizona's awesome. I loved Arizona when I was in high school. Arizona was the place for me. I never made it to Canyon de Chelly. That is one place I'd like to see. I don't think. No, I don't. Did I keep that book? Did I keep that book? Oh my gosh, I don't think I did. I think I got rid of that and sold all that at garage sales. Oh, sheesh. I can throw this in the burn barrel. Richmond County Student Code of Conduct. That don't belong here. I could care less about that. Where is... I thought I know I had it. Did I? Man, I need to read this stuff. I got all these good Christian magazines in here with good stuff in them. In Touch Ministries. This was Charles Stanley. Well, that's a cool picture. Look at that. Did you feel a little nervous being the lighthouse keeper in that one? That'd be a trip. Hey, Ralph, look at this. Where is this? Torres del Paine, Patagonia, Chile. Look at this. Look at the horses. This is down in Chile, in Patagonia. Out in the wild. That's awesome. Yep, light pollution. I can see some stars from my backyard when it's not cloudy. But when the power went out all over the city, they got a satellite image after Helene. And it was a trip, darkness, all the way up. Where the path of the hurricane went. And the stars that I could see in the backyard was nothing like the Grand Canyon, but it's a lot more than now. I could see the Big Dipper. I could see quite a bit. Nothing like that view in the Grand Canyon. I'll never see that again. The only place I would see that is out at sea. If I was out in the middle of the ocean, I would see that. To think that the ancient mariners navigated by the stars. You know, I need that. I need that moment again. I need that moment where I can go somewhere far from everything I know and just have that epiphany where God shows up and you're just like, whoa, okay, God, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yes. I'll shut up now and just behold your glory. We need that. I miss that. I miss that so much. You have to go get away. Forget the motels, forget all that. Get out there with God. That's a trip. That's cool, Colette. Yeah, we need to pray for Bridge, and I forgot to say that again. Yeah, she's been having some problems with her. What did she say? Insulin, Mr. E-Rock? Bridge looks so healthy. And she's got to fight. She's got to fight. Doesn't New Zealand have an observatory and a big telescope? I thought, if I remember, New Zealand has a beautiful scientific telescope where they're gazing out there into space. Don't they have one? Who's this JS? I thought he was come in here before. Why is he being a butthole? This channel's cooked. Man, we're having good discussion. What a bung. Yeah, thank you, doggy, that clown. Jockstrap. Yep, that's a good one, Mystery Rock. Another ukulele picker. Yep, there's a butthole in every chat. Yeah, I've heard about the one in California. Cheryl, you get around. Get around, you get around. Woo! Beach Boys, baby. Doggy should get moderator of the year. Do we have any Burger King crowns? Trained by needs to get out of here too. See a clown face. They come in, they're like mice. They come in pairs. Mice or rats. Douche flute. Remember those? The little Burger King crowds? They still have them. Kids would put them on their head and they think they're cute. Or them little plastic fire hats you have from the fire station. I'm going to be a fireman when I grow up. And I remember those rubber bands that I used to snap and hurt myself, and then they'd break. Cheap little things. Now that ruined my childhood. Cheap fire hats that cracked and the little thing broke. That was depressing. Cheryl, that's awesome. Hey, Colette, you might have answered. Do you guys have a star observatory over there in Zeeland? I thought you did, because you guys got some of the clearest air over there. Yes, always broke. And they didn't let us slide down the fire pole at the field trip for the fire museum. Or not fire museum, the fire station. Never did, Colette. Oh, trained by is gone. I booted him. We were just talking about how pleasant it was, and then two people show up. That's what I thought. I'd like to look through one of those. That would be awesome. See some things you cannot see with the naked eye. The other day, I found something at work. It looked like it was a metal box with switches, like a PA intercom system, had a tape recorder mounted to the top of it, and then this thing that stuck out the side. It was almost like some sort of a light bulb or something. I said, "What the hell is this? Is this ET phone home?" And my supervisor said, "I was just going to say that." I said, This looks like something ET was trying to phone home with." He goes, "I have no idea what that is. Put that in I don't know what it is box." I started laughing. And bluegrass, I'd love to do something like that with somebody. I like aloneness, but I also, when you do something like that, you want somebody to share that with, that aha moment. I mean, there's just something like, bluegrass, look up there. Wow. It's just funner when you have somebody to do things with. Warehouse TT. I used to take field trips in Denver to the planetarium. That was fun to be in there. How are you, Gunner? I haven't seen you in a while. You doing all right? Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Yeah, the Grand Canyon, standing in Yellowstone, been in the Cascades, been in the Redwoods, Sequoia National Forest, been on the Mendocino coast, down the PCH, Yosemite, Zion National Park in Utah, boat on Lake Powell. I always thought it'd be fun. Of course, Lake Powell has lost a huge amount of water. Back in the day, it would have been fun to rent one of those houseboats. They've lost so much water, it's frightening. The cities that draw for that are just sucking it. They're down more than 130 feet. That and Lake Mead. That's downright scary. Hey, Salty Breath, welcome in. Got you, Gunner. You know, I was alone like always, but it was all right. Totally uneventful. How about you? The banjo. Thanks, E-Rock. All I think about now is banjos. I cannot believe the new stuff that's coming out of the chat. We've always got fresh material. You know, I back to the Grand Canyon and being there and seeing all those stars. That was truly the definition of awesome. You talk about feeling tiny. I'm in that canyon and I'm just like, that just blows me away, God. That just, I can't even, words can't describe that. Colville Night Sky was pretty good. When I stayed at my uncle's, my cousin had a very obnoxious wife from Peru who was very loud. My uncle said, "You can sleep in my travel trailer. It's very nice." I said, "You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm out of that bedroom." I said, "That woman's freaking noisy, bangs." Went to the bathroom at 2 in the morning. I slammed the door, dropped the toilet seat, banged the cabinets. I mean, like a damn elephant in there. And then the TV's full blast all night. I don't know how my cousin slept. He finally divorced her years later. But out there in a travel trailer, so quiet, I'd hear the coyotes and the trains. The train tracks were close. And that train was hauling butt, too. But I'd go out to pee at night. And I remember looking. You can see a lot of stars, more than I can here. And I saw this light way up there just moving. I called my friend in Colorado the next day. I said, "Tom, you got a telescope and you're up there by Boulder. I'm seeing a steady line that's way higher than an airplane, a white light that's moving in one continuous straight. Is that a satellite?" "Yes, it is, Michael. On a clear night in certain places in the country, you can see that." I said, "That is awesome." And I watched it. Yeah, it's way up there. That's pretty cool. Oh, troll. Doggy likes the troll too. Colette, that's awesome. Two is better than one, yes. Canyon de Chelly. I'm wondering if I left that in Washington at my uncle's. I talked to him the other day. I said, we need to look at me getting my stuff down here. I got some cool things I need to show you guys. I got some very unique pieces from Hong Kong. I got some cool stuff. Stuff you're not going to find anymore. I've got an Ordok lamp. All brass, real big, huge green glass and a red glass. And you plug it in, and it is bright. I mean, if I put it in my living room window, it'll blind somebody. And it's a ship Ordok, like the Edmund Fitzgerald. Green light would be on to let it know it can come into the slip. I bought that at an antique store in Duluth. Very cool. I want that damn thing. I got a U-Haul trailer that goes behind a pedal car. Solid steel in beautiful condition. Real U-Haul trailer, the old, not the one with the box, but the flatbed with the side rails. I got some neat stuff. I got some stuff from Hong Kong. I bought I call it a tiger tile. It's a big framed and they're tiles and it's all of a big tiger. Very cool. Wow, that's cool, Bluegrass. I forgot to tell you guys, during Helene, I forgot to tell you, and I don't know if you know this about your iPhone. The power went out. And I was in the backyard one night, and I turned on the phone, and this message came up. You can tap into satellite to send text messages. So I hit it, and it said, hold the phone, move it a little bit this way. You had to hold it, look up at the sky. And all of a sudden, it linked. And I sent text messages to people. We had a major hurricane. I'm okay. The house is fine. There's been damage to the roof. Big oak tree fell, missing the house. Tina and I are safe. No power, no radio, no TV. We got a problem down here, but we're fine. And I did not know that. That's really good to know about the Apple phones. You've texted the space station. Are you serious? That's awesome. I remember going through Snowflake, Arizona. Winslow, Arizona. Such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. You gotta learn to understand. Wow. And I've been through Winslow. The song fits. Oh, folks, I think I'm going to go to bed early tonight to get my clock readjusted. Got to go back to the salt mines tomorrow. Wow, I was just having a thought about something. Interesting how that happens. I did. I wish I could have got more done, but I did rest. Worked on the puzzle, caught up on some phone calls. Ralph, that's cool. Mystery Rock Mob, all of you guys, have a good evening. Thank you to all my moderators. Thank you to all my regulars for making chat awesome. Thanks for your acceptance, your morale, good conversations. I appreciate you guys. And Mob, thank you again for the Titanic puzzle. That's awesome. Once I'm done with the record one, we'll have to show you progress and do some lives as I'm doing that. Princess Brandy Candy! I didn't even know you snuck in. Love you too, Chris, and everybody, thank you. Thank you, Ralph. God is number one, but thank you for the compliment. I need an epiphany. Yeah, if you leave me now, la da 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 da. Ooh, chatters, please don't go. All right, folks. Let's wrap it up and put a bow on it. Yes, Brandy Candy, will you come and run your fingers through it? I would like that. I'm such a flirt. I'm so bad. But it's just flirting. I'm not accounted for. Wow. All right, enough of that. You guys have a good evening. Be safe. Till next time. Thank you, Colette. Appreciate that.